NBA YoungBoy just did something nobody saw coming.
Birdman is talking the most gangster shit you probably ever heard him drop.
I mean, well, that, Birdman gonna talk his talk because he walked that walk.
He's basically saying that, he's totally down to get you.
After publicly dissing Birdman, straight up saying the man never loved him, the two Louisiana legends linked back up in New Orleans. And what happened next had the entire internet losing its damn mind. The link up, the snake bite, the silence. Before we even get into this, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the bell, because this story has everything. Bars, bread.
I think NBA YoungBoy might be the biggest rapper. I said that 5 years ago.
What you mean big when you say big?
Ain't no gonna be bigger than NBA YoungBoy. Numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
He the biggest.
Betrayal, and two Louisiana OGs whose situation had the whole culture watching like it was a live crime scene. Back in 2018, Birdman announced he was cooking up a collaborative tape with YoungBoy, calling it a bridge between generations. This wasn't just blog talk. Stunna genuinely saw something in YB, something that reminded him of a young Lil Wayne. He went public, calling YoungBoy a billion-dollar artist, comparing him to himself in his prime. Let that marinate. The same Birdman who built Cash Money from the mud was putting it on wax that this kid was next. At the time, YoungBoy was barely 20 years old, still a young bull, still learning the game. Fast forward to December 2021, their joint project From the Bayou drops. 10 tracks, raw energy, pain melodies mixed with Birdman's street boss talk. It peaked at number 19 on Billboard. Records like Heart and Soul and How You Know felt like Louisiana royalty linking up, the old king passing the torch to the new goat. But low-key, something was off, because here's the part you gotta understand about Birdman. His history with artists is not clean. Juvenile, Manny Fresh.
I'm just saying, when that little boy get his mind right, and he come from under this and understand who he is, because Thugger and all them, they up in age. They 30, it's 20.
But you think that he going through ain't doing that but helping him to his path to do that, though?
Of course.
Yeah.
We put him behind the wall, they become smart.
Yeah.
They ain't making them nothing but a month.
And the biggest example of all, Lil Wayne, who sued Cash Money for $51 million back in 2015 over unpaid royalties and album delays. Wayne knew Stunna better than anybody alive, and in 2020, on multiple flows with Lil U, Wayne dropped a bar that would later feel prophetic. I told YoungBoy to watch out for old heads. At the time, nobody took it serious. YB and Birdman were locked in, projects, videos, family vibes, but Wayne had already seen this movie before. Now, zoom out. While all this was happening, YoungBoy's life was spiraling behind the scenes. His career had been chained to legal trouble since the jump, juvie in 2014, assault charges, kidnapping accusations, federal gun charges in 2020. By October 2021, he was on house arrest in Utah. No touring, no performing, no moving freely. Imagine being one of the biggest artists in the world, generating millions, and you're basically caged inside your own house.
It feels like you have a real good connection with Birdman. You guys done some projects together.
5. You're my 5.
He's a good guy. How's your relationship blossomed throughout the years?
He just dude crazy. Like, he just talk a lot of shit, and I just like to sit there. That's my 5. I like when he pop that shit, man.
Yeah. Beatrice.
He been on that nigga too, so. That's the same type of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, about it, for sure.
And that's when the questions started eating at him. Where was Birdman? YoungBoy still showed love publicly, but if you really listened to his music, you could hear the frustration bleeding through the bars. Promises that felt empty, loyalty that felt one-sided. By 2023, Birdman was still defending YoungBoy publicly, even threatening Joe Budden after Budden called YoungBoy's music trash. On the surface, it looked like an OG protecting family, but behind the scenes, the energy was shifting. YoungBoy was fighting federal cases, prescription fraud investigations, years of confinement, watching other rappers tour and cash out while he sat stuck in Utah. And the mentor who called him family, the billion-dollar talk, it wasn't translating into real-world support.
Birdman was also on the tour, like basically every stop. What was his role on the road with you?
Just chilling. Being unk.
Being Unk?
Just chilling.
You got like a favorite memory on the road with him?
Every moment.
Every moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's somebody that's been with you since you were about 16. What does he mean to you?
I think you should ask him. Do you want to get some fresh air?
See, when an OG takes a young artist under his wing, there's an unspoken contract, not paperwork, principle, guidance, protection, showing up when things get ugly. From YoungBoy's perspective, that support never came. And then came June 2024. YoungBoy drops Tears of War. DJ Academics premieres it, and the culture freezes. Knew that Stunna never loved me, should have listened to Carter. No subliminals, no decoding. That was a direct shot. Stunna, Birdman, Carter, Lil Wayne. The message was crystal clear. I should have listened when Wayne warned me. XXL ran headlines. Blogs dissected every bar. Social media went nuclear. And the timing made it hit even harder. Federal raids on YB's Utah home, prescription fraud charges, rock-bottom moments. This wasn't clout chasing, this was pain. And Birdman? Silence. No response, no statement, no diss track. Some called it a boss move, others saw it as guilt. Because when you've been in the game that long and someone accuses you of fake love, the instinct is to defend yourself, show receipts, tell your side. Birdman did none of that. And then OG3, YoungBoy's brother and the engine behind Never Broke Again, spoke up. In a viral live, he issued a clear warning: snake anything, rake anything. Translation: don't play games around family.
OG3, the founder of NBA, aka Never Broke Again, and older brother of NBA YoungBoy.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, where we come from. And it's like the mentality that they see us, when they see us, is like, hold on, let me back, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, we give like that back off standoffish vibe.
I think now they gonna really understand.
The industry weighed in. Whack 100 called YB a rat. Ironic, considering Whack himself has spoken on OGs exploiting young artists. The contradiction wasn't lost on fans. Because when you zoom out far enough, the pattern is obvious. Birdman, cash money, artists not getting paid, messy books, court orders forcing financial transparency, and now a new generation saying the same thing. What made Tears of War hit so hard was context. YoungBoy wasn't just dissing, he was processing betrayal, trauma, abandonment, and unlike artists before him, he didn't stay quiet. He put it on wax. And through all that smoke, by 2025, NBA YoungBoy became the most RIAA certified rapper of all time, 126 plaques, passing Drake and Jay-Z. Locked down, labeled problematic, still unstoppable. Sometimes the loudest truths don't come from victory, they come from survival. His numbers were undeniable, gang, and that part matters more than anything. YoungBoy accomplished all of this while on house arrest, while fighting non-stop legal battles, while being what he openly called blackballed by the industry. He didn't need Birdman's connects, he didn't need Cash Money's machinery, he didn't need industry politics at all. He built his own empire. And that tells you exactly where YB's head was at. He wasn't bitter, he wasn't begging to be let back in, he transcended the blacklist. When you've got a direct line to your fan base, you don't need gatekeepers. But this is where the story takes a darker turn. Birdman's brother, Terrence "Gangster" Williams, started making wild claims, allegations about inappropriate parties involving young male rappers, loosely referencing names like Wayne and YoungBoy. None of this was proven. Most people wrote it off as tabloid clout chasing.
I don't give an expletive who a expletive think they gonna go around me. Soon as be able to get around. Snake anything, rake anything. So anything y'all thinking, expletive. think 3 times expletive because you're going to be missing your
But here's the thing. Even unproven claims can shift perception. Those rumors added another shadow to the narrative surrounding Birdman's relationships with young artists. True or not, they fed into a growing feeling that something about how he moved just didn't sit right anymore. And that's why what happened next shocked everybody. August 2025, New Orleans, the same city where Cash Money was born, the same streets Birdman built his legacy on. NBA YoungBoy and Birdman are spotted on Canal Street, hugging, walking side by side, throwing money to fans, surrounded by armed security.
Likes to work with me.
Why do you think that is? I was singing earlier before we started, your song Blackball is one of my favorite joints of yours. And a lot of your fans would say that you have been like blackballed in the music industry. What does that term blackball even mean to you? Like, what do you think of when you hear that? What does that mean to you?
I don't know. I don't think it's that no more. I think I don't know. That might not be my caliber of person.
Both in bulletproof vests, the internet lost its mind. Social media exploded with beef squash narratives. People celebrated the reunion like it was a victory lap for the culture. 2 Louisiana legends back together. But the real question was this peace or positioning? Here's what it changed. In 2025, YoungBoy received a presidential pardon, breaking the legal chains that had kept him locked down for years.
Go grab the hand and down the notebook.
Oh my goodness!
For the first time, he could move freely, tour, perform, touch real money again. And when he hit the road, the Make America Slime Again / NASA tour became the highest grossing rap tour of the year. Over $70 million, 42 US dates, sold out arenas night after night. And guess who was there for almost every stop? Birdman. DJ Academics later revealed Birdman's explanation. He said he was there to make sure YoungBoy didn't mess up the money. On stage, Birdman was screaming, jumping, hyping the crowd. Fans caught footage of him fully turned up, enjoying the spotlight again. To a lot of people, it looked genuine, like 2 men who had put the past behind them. But this is where you gotta slow down and really read the room. The internet's split in half. On one side, you've got people who believe this is real growth. YoungBoy isn't a teenager anymore. He's been through the system, survived house arrest, faced federal cases, got pardoned, built wealth, built a family, and lived through both extremes of fame. Maybe he genuinely let the pain go. Maybe he decided beef wasn't worth the energy. Maybe peace made more sense than pride. That's maturity. But then there's the other side, the skeptics, and their questions are valid too. Why did Birdman reappear right now? Why not during house arrest? Why not during the federal pressure? Why not when YoungBoy couldn't tour or earn?
Do you think you tap into that emotional side? Because, I mean, I would imagine because of the name Slime Crop.
Yeah, but not too emotional. I don't really get too hurt about things no more.
What you mean?
I don't know. I'm just older now, so a lot of things that used to like hurt me back then used to make me like want to rap. And you know, I just don't like that type of music. I don't go that deep.
Why show up exactly when the tour money started flowing? Birdman's been publicly floating numbers, calling YoungBoy a billion-dollar artist, hinting at $200, $300 million deals. That isn't just praise, that's positioning. So the real question becomes, is this mentorship or opportunism dressed as family? The truth is probably messy. Birdman likely does have real affection for YoungBoy. Shared experiences create real bonds. But in this industry, love and money are never separate. And that's why OG3's warning still matters. He made it clear if anybody tries to snake the NBA operation, there will be consequences. Personal peace doesn't mean business access. The camp is watching everything. So let's circle back to the headline. NBA YoungBoy bodied Birdman in New Orleans. Not physically, but culturally. YoungBoy bodied him when tears of war dropped and exposed the truth. YoungBoy bodied him when he walked through Birdman's city mobbed by fans. YoungBoy bodied him by proving he didn't need the industry to survive or to win. Birdman was there, but he was a supporting character in YoungBoy's story. Now YoungBoy is set to headline Rolling Loud 2026, planning his first European tour, dropping projects at will, pulling insane numbers, and moving on his own terms. So what's the real lesson here? Hip-hop is changing. The old model, where executives exploited hungry artists who didn't know better, is breaking down. Artists like YoungBoy own their masters, control their distribution, and speak directly to fans. When Lil Wayne fought Birdman, he was powerful, but trapped. Contracts, dependencies, infrastructure. His leverage was limited. YoungBoy fought from strength. He could speak his truth without fear of being shelved. He could drop a diss without worrying about retaliation. His audience would follow him anywhere. That's the future, and that's the part every young artist should pay attention to. Smash that like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more deep dive stories like this. Let me know, is the peace real or is the tension just quiet for now? Until next time, peace. So where does this story really end? Not with a hug, not with a diss record, not even with a tour. It ends with power. And who actually holds it now? Because when you strip away the headlines, the rumors, the street talk, and the viral clips, one truth stands taller than anything else. NBA YoungBoy no longer needs anyone. Not Birdman, not a label, not industry validation. And that's what truly flipped the script. For decades, the hip-hop game worked the same way. Young artists came in hungry, desperate, willing to sign anything just to escape their circumstances. OGs and executives held the keys, the money, the distribution, the access. If you played along, you ate. If you didn't, you disappeared. That system created legends, and it destroyed just as many. Birdman is a product of that era, a survivor of it, a master of it. YoungBoy is something else entirely. He came up in a time where the internet leveled the playing field, where fans mattered more than radio, where YouTube numbers spoke louder than industry cosigns, where owning your masters meant owning your future. That's why Tears of War hit so different. It wasn't just a diss, it was a declaration, a line in the sand. It said, I see the pattern, I lived the pattern, and I broke the pattern. And when YoungBoy walked through New Orleans, Birdman City, surrounded by love, surrounded by fans, surrounded by his own power, that moment said more than any lyric ever could. It showed that the crown had already been passed, quietly, organically, irreversibly. Birdman standing next to him didn't mean control, it meant acknowledgement. Acknowledgement that the game changed. Acknowledgement that YoungBoy won on his own terms. Acknowledgement that the old rules don't apply the same way anymore. That doesn't make Birdman a villain, and it doesn't make YoungBoy a saint. It makes this story human. Two generations colliding. One built on survival through systems, the other built on independence from them. And that's why this story matters beyond the drama. Because every young artist watching this should understand the lesson. You don't have to give up your voice to win. You don't have to accept bad deals to be heard. You don't have to stay silent to stay alive in the industry. YoungBoy proved that you can be flawed, controversial, locked down, counted out, and still rewrite the rules. So whether the reconciliation with Birdman is permanent or temporary, whether it's love, business, or a mix of both, it doesn't change the outcome. NBA YoungBoy already won. Not because he bodied someone in a club, not because he topped charts, but because he took control of his own story. And in hip-hop, that's the real victory. Until next time, stay sharp, stay independent, and don't let nobody write your ending for you.